Hello everyone, today I want to show you my Nitro on-road RC car. It is called Kyosho Mantis GP FF. FF meaning it's front wheel drive. This car is very unique because in an on-road Nitro RC world there are very little front wheel drive cars. This car is based on a chassis called Mantis. It was released in year 1999, and the chassis was meant to be modular, universal, like we see on Tamiya's mini chassis. It was supposed to be used in various different configurations: front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, various wheelbases and various different widths. There were a few electric Mantis with a silver can brushed motor, front wheel drive and rear wheel drive. As well, there were Nitro Mantises. We have this for front wheel drive Nitro car. There was also a rear wheel drive Nitro car, and there was also this same front wheel drive car, but much shorter and much narrower because it used Mini Cooper body, so it can be classified as mini chassis. This one is a normal touring car size. It's 257 millimeters wheelbase. So this car came with this Peugeot body kit. Of course I got it used. I never had such cars back in their original year. This body came used, but it's quite in a normal condition. It's not very bad. I had to make a few cleanups, but overall this body is still usable and quite authentic. As for the chassis, let's talk about it. It has this GX12. It's a 0.12 or around 2 cubic centimeters engine. It's mounted here on the front. The GX12 motor is mounted at 90 degrees angle, and here you can see it has this clutch bell and spur. What's funny, the clutch bell is plastic, and this spur then goes to the front gearbox, and here we have frontal outdrives. As for the rear, there are no drive shafts. This is probably a basic version without upgrades, so as you can see here, it doesn't have, as you know, conventional coilover shocks. They have these arms which have this spring on the axle, and they have no dampening. It's just the spring. As I know, you can use aftermarket shocks for this one, but I left it stock. As you see, the frontal geometry is quite strange one, because when you push the suspension, it has some toe in, so it's called bump steer. Yeah, but this is a funny car. Okay, it has this throttle servo. It has this simple brake mechanism on the spur gear. There is a single needle carburetor, or is it single? Yes, it's a single needle carburetor. There is this nice handle. This handle is usually seen on Nitro models. You rarely see these handles on electric models. Here's the fuel tank, it's in the back. And this is my receiver. It has this pull start, and this car uses a different muffler, a single chamber, a typical Kyosho muffler. When I got this car, it had this aftermarket, very interesting muffler, but it's much more silent, and I like it because I don't like to embarrass my neighbors. I left this one. I put on the original muffler from other car, but it was a bit too loud because of a single chamber. This pipe has a dual chamber. This is the servo mounted here on the front, because it's very little space when you have a front wheel drive car, and it uses this simple, very simple straight connection like you see on Tamiya mini chassis, MO1, MO2, MO3, MO4. All those chassis also are modular. Because this car has this nice rally body, I use these AliExpress Chinese rally wheels, and here you can see there is a battery pack. So it's all about this car. It's, as being a front wheel drive car, it has a very interesting characteristic of off throttle oversteer. It means that when you let off the throttle, this very light, the rear slides out easily around the corners. So these cars drive very unconventionally. For someone who drove Tamiya mini chassis cars, or now these are very popular front wheel drive on-road touring classes, so you should know how this car handles. So now I will try to start the engine, and I have this my track. It's in off-road configuration with jumps, because this is an on-road car. I will drive my laps in a much shorter configuration, avoiding these jumps. I don't want to jump the car over these high jumps, maybe over the lower ones just.